For my senior year of high school, I would spend the morning at my school doing academics. Then a kid would drive me and him over to the vocational school where we studied automotive tech. This felt kind of cool because it felt like we were getting a break from the school experience. Like we were going somewhere else, we were using our hands, it just felt neat. Then one day we got a notice that all the schools in the area had to be locked down and we couldn't go to the vocational school in that afternoon because someone had escaped from a jail transport. They were in the back of the transportation car and had convinced the deputy to give him a cigarette. So when the deputy opened the gate and reached back to give him the cigarette, they grabbed his hand, even though there were handcuffs, and pulled themselves through, managed to get the door open from the front, and jumped out. And there was this massive manhunt where they had the helicopter out and cops everywhere canvassing the neighborhood and canvassing the road where he had jumped out of and trying to figure out what had happened. After that day, I didn't really think about it. Like, it just kind of went into the memory bank and went away. And then when I was sitting in prison myself, I was listening to this guy brag about how he escaped from jail transport and how he'd been able to stay away. And I remembered the story, and I was like, man, I remember that one guy. He only stayed out for like 4 days. I ended up finding him in a hotel with his old lady, like, shacked up and just trying to have a lot of sex before his prison term. Sure enough, I asked him, hey, was this in Charlottesville? He said, yeah. I said, was this back at the end of 2001? He said, yeah. Then he started telling me this whole thing about how he had planned it and how he had pulled it off. What I didn't understand, he was a really big guy. Like, he was a heavy weightlifter. He was a big guy. How he had pulled himself through that little slot in the car just still blows my mind. But never on that day in high school when I was hearing about somebody escaping from a jail transport did I imagine I'd be sitting across a chow hall table from him in prison myself.